Okay, we appreciate everybody being here tonight and welcome you to the Hermosa Town Board Tuesday, January 17, 2023 regular meeting at 6 p.m. We'll start off with roll call. Hendrickson.
Here.
Holsworth here. Kramer.
Here.
Schumacher.
Here.
Appreciate that. Appreciate attendance of the audience, and please all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all. That being said, we'll move to item number 2, review of the current agenda. In view of the, under new business, the item F, Hermosa Connects introduction. I'd like to move that up just before law enforcement so they aren't made to stick through the whole meeting, and they're allowed that way to move on with what they have the rest of their night planned. And other than that, that'll be the only update that I'll have on the agenda. Motion to approve is amended unless there's further changes.
Could we add a discussion of cell phones in the meeting?
Pardon?
Could we add a discussion of having cell phones in the meeting?
You could probably just do that under your trustee input. Motion to approve is amended.
I'll make that motion.
Kramer makes the motion, do it a second. Second by Hendrickson. Any further discussion? Being none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item number 3 is a consent calendar. Approval of the January 3rd, 2023 regular meeting minutes. If no discussion, motion to approve, please.
Make that.
Hendrickson makes the motion, to have a second.
I'll second.
By Schumacher. Further discussion? Being none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried, thank you. Item number 4 is the conflict of interest declaration. Any of you have anything on this agenda?
What do I know of?
There being none, we'll move ahead then. Item number 5 is claims. As you can see, there's an amended claims in there. Your additional claims are listed on the bottom there. North Central Insurance, Secretary of State. Brings that total number up from what your original was on the claims of $32,966.81 to $33,046.81. Any further questions on the claims? Not, motion to approve is read.
I'll make that.
Motion by Hendrickson, second
I'll second.
by Schumacher. Further discussion? Being none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. And we'll now go to our item number F under new business with Hermosa Connects, and welcome. You have the floor.
Thank you. Sneak over here. Let's see. You won't be able to see me over the podium, so you better watch it here. Well, for those of you that are fortunate enough not to know me, my name is Rick Mills. I've been a resident here in Hermosa for longer than most of us need to know. I appreciate the time that you've given Hermosa Connects tonight. Let me just quickly, I made a few notes because I know that brevity is the thing that we're going for tonight, and I appreciate your time. Anyway, where did it go? Funny how it always disappears right when you want it. Thank you for your time. I appreciate being on the agenda tonight to represent Hermosa Connects. I'm here both tonight as a citizen of the town of Hermosa and as a representative of a new community advocacy group, which is now officially named Hermosa Connects. You know, part of the problem with any organization is coming up with the right name. So The genesis of Hermosa Connects dates back approximately a year. Originally, several Hermosa business owners asked me, how do the Hill City merchants market themselves? Well, I shared how the community, the city, and the Chamber of Commerce in Hill City work together to promote events through external funding sources. Finally, we've pulled the proverbial trigger on a first meeting, and we had that in October. And 2 meetings with 34 individual attendees have occurred since. One of the first items discussed was a formal digital survey for community members to fill out. And that, of course, was placed on the town's website and available at the town office, plus another couple places. To report on that, 22 individuals responded to this set of questions. By the next meeting on February 14th, which everyone is invited to, the committee will distill the responses down to a formal outline of thoughts and topics that will be addressed in future meetings. The incorporation papers, as well as preliminary bylaws, are now being developed. I want to thank you again for your inclusion on Hermosa Connects on tonight's agenda. It is the hope of the organization that Hermosa Connects can be a standing town board agenda item to routinely inform you of ideas, activities, and plans as we all move forward together. Thank you again. Do you have any questions that I can attempt to answer for you?
No, I think it'll be a good situation, and we look forward to the future meetings now. And the invite will be very greatly appreciated.
And we'll do the very same as we have previously. We will send out an email, a few days before if there's anything special going on or whatever, but just to invite anybody that you feel appropriate, because it's a community effort and we want everybody involved.
What time is the meeting on the 14th?
It'll be at 8:30 a.m.
Okay.
Yes, Terry.
So what
I'm
is
sorry,
your-
Madam Chair.
No,
Sorry.
not even. So what is your long-term goal on this? What is the whole deal of having Hermosa Connects?
If I told you I could tell you this right now, I would be lying to you.
Okay,
This is one of those things that the basic mission statement that we've come up with thus far is for the betterment of the community, however that turns out. Every community has its own specific needs, its own specific issues that it wants to deal with. I think probably the main thing that we're going to see here with this community organization, however it works out, is going to be dealing with the whatever's going to come upon us in the next 10 years. I don't want to necessarily call it development, I don't want to necessarily call it change, but it's going to be something that will evolve. And none of us can really put a finger on what that's going to be at this point. But I think the businesses and the other community individuals that have been at our meetings already just want to make sure that we're able to get a handle on it, to make it work for all of us. And yeah, like I say, if I had a crystal ball on that, I would have won a lottery last week and a few other things. But
so would I.
but the underlying concern of all of the members and the reason for Hermosa Connects is to help develop the community and address things that come up. And everybody is a partner in this. So that's my short, but not really short enough answer.
Thanks, Rick.
Sure. Anybody
Thank you.
else?
I think it's a wonderful idea. I'm really glad to see it taken off.
Well, we appreciate being on the agenda tonight, and we want you to give us all the guidance that you can and be at our meetings. And if it doesn't work, somebody can be at a meeting or whatever, or we can actually be on the agenda each time. There's other ways that we can keep in contact. And as my dad always said, it's not a very big pond. So, I mean, we just need to kind of make sure that we're all swimming in the right direction.
Awesome.
So.
The information for like meetings and everything is just emails, or are you guys creating
Right,
a website?
we are going to be working on a website. We're working with Ally Van Beek to do some things in that regard, but we're real early in this process. And I have pretty much been designated as the community rep to be here because I do live in the city, and we want to make sure that everything is as transparent as we can. So if you know what we're doing, that's that's our goal. As well as, just making sure that we're all, well, I was gonna use a train metaphor, but we won't do that. Anyway, any other questions?
Look forward to it, Rick. I
Thank
think
you
it's
very
a Great
Thank
step.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you, look forward to the future. Okay, that being said, we'll move into law enforcement abatements complaints then. We appreciate you being here tonight. You have the logs
Yes, for
of everything
December.
that designated out here in Hermosa. Any questions for the officer
Any
tonight?
reports on the cat situation?
Thompson was supposed to get a hold of you, sorry, Mr. Mayor. Thompson was supposed to get a hold of you.
No, you probably can't, but,
She's probably got him blocked.
I have RoboKiller on my phone, and if I don't have you in my phone, you're not getting through.
I think that's what my issue might have been, but I know he said that he was trying to get a hold of you last month, so.
Okay, if, after the meeting, if you give me his number, I'll give him a call. Okay?
And then, do you want me to say all of the calls that we had this December?
Pardon?
Did you want me to say all the calls, like extra patrols, there was 20 of them, 1 stolen vehicle, 1 citizen assist, 9 paper services, a wildlife call, 6 school patrols, 2 suspicious activities, 2 traffic complaints, 2 civil, 1 assist other agency, I don't know which department it was. And then there was 1 information call, 1 noise complaint, 3 different 911 calls, a welfare check, a follow-up, a harassment, and fire alarm. There's 54 calls that month.
So the extra patrol is,
Whenever another person comes here, so I don't log it, I live here. I don't log my extra patrols. Every day that I
Okay.
work, I'm here. So 5 days out of the 7 that I work,
so it's somebody else coming down.
So that's just an extra 20 on top of the 40 to 5, 10, 50, 20 that I'm here, so. And there's another deputy that lives here, so there's someone here every day.
And how did the stolen vehicle, did that get found, recovered, or?
Yeah, I believe it's the one that was posted that started on fire. I believe that's the one that was. No, I think it was just right up here, just south of town.
And the wildlife?
That was Linda.
Wasn't me then. Haven't been wild at all lately, dear.
Probably an animal around.
Well, yeah, I just
Yeah.
wondered what kind.
Do you-
I didn't see,
No, no.
I didn't have enough time to look before, so I just ran over there quick to print my own little thing off and then drove back.
Okay. My puppies aren't that wild.
No, I'm talking about you.
The only thing I had heard on, was it Matt that does the school patrol? That, I don't know if there's any way he can ever maybe break it up. I know he comes from Hot Springs, but to come to us earlier where basically when he shows up for school, school's already in session and going, and majority of the time he's always missing when the school itself is coming in. And I know it's probably a difficult situation for him getting from Hot Springs to here, but I don't know if they can
My
switch that.
understanding is that he's supposed to be here when school starts.
And he is here when school starts. When he comes over here, that's the arrangement we have with them as our SRO, and he is seen on the street, whether it's up here, over here, down there, doing his patrol. When I come at 7:45, I see him. So he is on the streets before when he comes.
I'll have to let the others know then, because they watched for a solid 2 weeks, and it was always after. That was the only time they seen his presence, so. And then with the traffic control part of it too, that amount of cars coming by a little faster than what they should, so. I'll ask that individual, and I know they documented also times that they had on it, but but that's appreciated. That's good to
That's my
know.
understanding, because we have our schedule, it has someone from OSA, AM, PM, customer AM, PM, it's designated people to be here for
Good,
their shifts, so.
Now, I'm not saying if there's not an emergency, you guys don't get pulled, and we understand that. But he still reports to you guys, but he is the school's employee, basically. We have control of him 4 days a week.
good.
So his days that he's here, he is out and about.
Good. And then, are they doing any afternoon stuff then? That was another
Seth's
question,
been
because
here.
they never,
Yeah, me and
See.
Seth do PMs.
Yeah.
good,
So,
good. And then the
I
school
see 'em.
has their own crosswalk with the teacher each time too, every day then?
The lady that stands right here.
just up here at this corner.
Right,
And I don't know which one's on that duty, but normally it's the same one, whoever it is.
Same one I've seen every
Yeah.
time.
And I don't know, I pick up down below, so I don't know who they got stationed up here at this corner.
that's.
But I know there's supposed to be somebody here in the morning and at night.
Now, are they doing any continuing training in the school? Any programs, any, kind of attendances with the kids on education, the bullying thing, or any of the, if they see the stranger danger going on, or any of that? I know there used to be where law enforcement would go up, it seemed once or twice a month, and attend, come into the classrooms, do a little bit of education with the kids, hit the younger generations and stuff. I didn't know
They
whether there
do
was
dare.
that going on yet or not.
We do, yeah,
They do
like
dare.
she says, we do dare, and you'll have to get with the administrators on what they utilize that SRO for. So,
Sure.
I mean, that's not my department.
Right, no, that's good to know
So,
too.
I don't know. When it gets bad enough, that's when it gets up to us. So, I
Excellent.
keep out of their business, if I can.
Anything else further that you have for report?
We have an
Anything?
opening if someone wants to get hired,
Pardon?
Oh,
so we have an opening, so.
really?
Anything further from the board?
Let's go for that.
That would be kind of fun, okay.
Okay, we appreciate you being here tonight. Thanks for your reports. Under legal, we'll have a couple of discussions. I know we talked about under engineering on Roy's Drive-In down there, so I'll bring you a little more attention on that then, Mitch, on that. Anything for Mitch from the board? Great. Engineer, we'll move into number 8, water rehab project, the WRT. Their test results are in. We're waiting for them to come back now, put their finalization of numbers together so we'll know what we've got on that portion of it. That will also hinge, along with the DA and an R, as far as where we know where we're at on that segment of it also, so. You've seen paperwork in here on the Hermosa school sidewalk, or, excuse me, not school, but Hermosa sidewalk project, and what their final numbers were. As you remember, we had already agreed that we knew there was gonna be overcosts on it. We'd agreed that we were going to go ahead and allow that. With the way today's market is in today's world, it just makes it really difficult. So these are the numbers that we're gonna be looking at. They're within the margin of what we all talked about, so. So they'll be moving forward with that. We gave a motion last time to have them move forward with that and have that done, so. So we'll continue forward with that project and have them get that segment of it going. The item C is the sewer project, was lagoon design and expansion. As you can see, there was a punch list that came from ACES that basically wanting to know if we can negotiate the anticipated construction easement area for the project. I'm sure we can, and we will, with that portion of it. Does the BOT want recommended main replacement locations included in the current project? That sheet that you were handed here, that will be distributed back to Monica, shows them on the second page. What them were derived at was when they went through that pace tape that was done when we did our sewer jetting and situation on that, that this was the involvement of what they had in there. When we did the D8R lagoon expansion costs, along with the Gumbo Lily side of it, we were at 1.1. In my feelings, we at present cannot move forward with these projects for these mains. We're going to have to go back in to DNR on this project scope for this to be allowed to be able to be done. In my feelings, for cost-wise, we have to stay within the project level of what we're doing with the expansion of the lagoon expansion with the new project plan. So that way we'll have that circumstance and situation into that basis. So at our next work session on the 24th, we'll be too late to discuss this. That's why the last work session, we were hoping that we could make, some time for it, even though the hazard mitigation portion of that took up most of the meeting, which was very important too, since that's going to be published and put into play. So, what she's asking for direction on this portion of it then, I fully feel that we cannot afford at this time to go forward with this portion of it until we go into the next round with D8R, put it as a project site all of its own, and then move that forward from that portion of it. I feel we need to fully move forward with what we had on the lagoon expansion itself and the new addition. She also laid that out where in the new additions, everything is spelled out in here as far as the flow metering devices that we have to update. Everything as far as the burns, everything they're doing for liner, everything for what we're doing is explained. And then also in the explanation is described on the map that you have in your packet of the areas that she needs for the strip for access, so that when we do for the construction easement and the access portion of it, that's where we're going to need to ask them what we can do for that and what we can negotiate with them. Yes, ma'am.
Chuck, is this the plan that you chose to go with?
It doesn't look like it, but I have to review it a little again.
Because I know there was one that you were not very happy with.
Well, I have some questions, but not at this time.
Okay. My other question is, do we have a contract with her for this?
Correct. That was motioned on in September. And this is the one that we went through with Chuck up here in that work session with Chuck and Chuck
Just checking,
and Aces.
just checking.
And then this is the one that follows the DA&R handbook for the expansion for the future growth. Then her other question was basically the questions on the current layout. I mean, if there's questions there that you have on that layout, Mr. Ferguson, they need to be addressed.
Okay.
And then the test results, Monica said, were sent to them. So we have them, where we have them situated out and put into circumstance on that. So as we're well aware of, if you have questions on anything here, Mr. Ferguson, we need to do that tomorrow and have that to where we can put a email together to ACES and then have them questions addressed by her, by you, in that layout and in that situation. Okay,
She's been doing quite a bit of emailing to Monica and it's not working very well because Monica has no idea what's happening here, so it'd be best if we had a one-on-one.
okay. So basically, from the board tonight, I need a motion then to make the main replacement of infrastructure pending and just move forward with the lagoon project itself.
I'll make the motion.
Kramer makes the motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Schumacher. Any further discussion? If being none, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried, thank you. Tomorrow then, Mr. Ferguson, what we'll do is, if there's a time we need to get together, we can discuss that. Once you get done with your duties in the morning, we'll see what the snow removal is in the morning too. That'll kind of depict my schedule. Is it good I just call you in the morning? See how you're doing and where you're at?
Yeah.
We'll get together and go through it, and then we'll call Hendrickson. If any of the rest of you are available too and want to come
I
up.
won't be.
You won't be? Are you available tomorrow?
Will work. Well,
So Kramer, will you be available? Okay, so we'll give a jingle then and see if we can put that together and give a couple answers. I mean, we've got to have this plan submitted before the 31st. So, okay. These here, like I say, please give these copies back to Monica.
Both of them?
Yep,
I scribbled on the
Thank you.
back.
Oh,
that's okay. Okay, then we'll have the water sewer facilities plan, resolutions, the DA and R ward, Andy Brule's email. That's all a pending situation also. So all kind of hinges in this program as what we've referenced. Black Hills Council local government is the same thing. All hinges in that same program. Town of Hermosa Water Sewer Extension Project is also the same way in a pending situation. Hermosa Hills Drainage, the Marie Street and the Walter Street. You had letters that were sent on that Mr. Preston was in agreement to add gravel to Marie Street. The only one we had was Walter Street. Whether, we didn't feel that the core portion of it was, but we wanted to do a walkthrough with him. We've never got an email back from him on that yet. I'm assuming he's probably in Montana yet, but I feel the engineer needs to do a walkthrough on that portion of it too, so that Walter Street can be added to as well as Marie Street. But there's still other conditions on that that needed to be before the acceptance with the mag water, the culverts, the drainage, the silt, that we're having in the bottoms. All of that was part of that condition. So he wanted a letter of agreement. If he put the 2 inches of gravel on, that we would accept the streets, but that isn't all of the conditions, so that's why that walkthrough is so essential. So that's why we're waiting on that reply. Once he comes back into town, I'll contact the members and anybody that can meet down there. We'll go through that. Whitney Street drainage, of course, that's South Dakota area rural water. That's a pending situation as far as the cammering and everything on that situation. All it is a monitoring. It's left on there for them purposes and them purposes only. Roy's, you have a question
I do have a question.
concerning,
The drainage in the camera part.
okay,
So, to my understanding, was it not cameraed?
correct,
So, what did we find?
that there is a break in the pipe that was installed by the contractors on the school there.
Okay,
There was
so
infiltration.
when was this cameraed?
Pardon?
When was this cambered?
Mr. Ferguson, you wanna
I
enlighten
don't know the
that?
exact date, but we had cambered it last fall. And it hasn't been done since, but one of the lifting holes, it isn't a crack, it was a molding hole that was in there, there's water coming in
Okay,
in that area.
okay. So I guess I have a question. If you found something wrong with the infrastructure that was put in 4 or 5 months ago, how come we weren't contacted, or nobody was contacted at the school or have seen this footage so this can get fixed? Because it's a brand new building and a brand new set of deal, and we all know what water underneath can do to wash out. So how come you didn't contact them?
This is down in the containment pond itself,
It's not under the building.
correct?
Part of the thing, it shouldn't matter, it's still part of something that could cave in, and if they get a heavy rain and it caved in, it's gonna back everything up. So if you found a problem, why wouldn't you let the owners know? That's all I'm asking.
The whole thing about it is where it is located. We're trying to locate and understand the water situation too. If it's infiltration from groundwater, whether it's the spring water or not. And with everything that inquired and happened on the Water Tower Hill, that's why we're monitoring that portion of it. It all is one big circle there. And we know very well that if anything is said prematurely as what it was before and thinking that there was a problem, it was taken to another elevation. We don't want to go there again.
I understand that, Dan, but what I'm getting at is if we have found a problem, whether it is Billy's that lives in China pumping water to the north, whatever the case is, if we have found a problem, why wouldn't we let somebody know so we could work together and fix the problem? Not worry about pointing fingers, but fix the problem before we get a bigger problem.
Yep. we
That's
sure
all I'm
like that.
asking. Why wouldn't you contact the owners of that property and do that?
And we will.
Because I'm here as myself. I am one of 7. I do not have a voice for that building or that board right now. But I have a voice as a concern as a taxpayer.
Sure.
My taxes help fund that no different than anybody sitting in this room today. So if you guys found a camera that they haven't seen the footage yet, why wouldn't you work with them owners before we ruin something that we all spent money on? That's all I'm asking. I don't understand. You didn't create the problem, we didn't create the problem, but obviously, if the camera proves there is a problem, why don't we fix the problem?
And that's why we've been monitoring it this long to see where and why and how come. Now we've got it, now we want to come back to you guys and talk to you about it. So that's where we're at in that level. So we'll bring that footage up and we'll bring it back to you.
Okay, so then when I read here a little more, it says approval to camera or retention pond. Is that just running another camera up? The
That's what
pipe?
if we felt we needed to, yes.
Okay. Okay,
And we haven't, and that's why that's still pending.
good.
There's been portions where the water almost came to a complete halt. So then that's why we never pursued any farther. It just almost came to a complete dry. After the last moisture, now it began to run again. Not at a huge rate, but it did begin to run again. So that's why we've been watching it, seeing what's going on, trying to see if there is a circumstance, or is it gonna fix itself? Is it gonna dry up? You know, and that's what we've been watching, monitoring weekly. on
Okay,
it.
and I understand that, and if I've taken more than my 3 minutes, I'll gladly be quiet, if you would like. But they put like 22 feet of fill in there. I don't know the exact, but somewhere between 15 and 22 feet to bring that up.
Right,
And a sewer pipe is probably buried, I'm gonna guess, the bottom of it, depending on the deal, you probably got 6 foot of cover so it doesn't freeze. I'm just guessing on a storm drain. I don't know what them drawings showed. I don't know. So that leaves somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 to 14 feet to the bottom of that pipe that was filled. So if we've got water pushing up, and there's water pushing up there, well, if that's what's coming in, and I'm not denying Chuck's deal on the camera, but if there's something pushing up, we should have had a fountain out there when I was a kid. Because we covered it up, and so you got that much more pressure, and we're in the driest year we've ever had. I don't understand.
Yeah, that's what that's
Okay,
too.
I'll be quiet now.
And there's always been water in that field,
Yep,
even clear back in the day, so.
okay.
Yes, sir, one more question and then we're moving on.
If you have that and want to share it with the board, is there any way that that could be brought to them to get put on the February agenda?
We can,
Because it's the second Monday in February is the next school board meeting,
okay?
just to make the whole board aware of what's going on.
And I guess I would request to see footage of the camera. Okay,
Yep.
thank you.
We'll
Thank you.
bring that up tomorrow, Mr. Ferguson, and have that situation.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, next item, the Roy's Drive-In. We had talked to the developer on that, Mr. Poulis, and as far as where they were going to go with the next structure and development over there behind Murray Street, towards, between the drive-in and them. At one point, what we had discussed is that was going to be not an approvable service line if it came from where Roy wanted to bring it from, over to Marie Street and dig in between where the easement is. So the infrastructure side of that, we were hoping that he would work with the developer in a contribution to help on the infrastructure of the next phase. Mr. Poulis was in here and I had talked to him about it. And then he contacted Mr. Preston, and in their presence now, they're not willing to extend that infrastructure at this point. So what it's going to be now is we're going to need to get with the engineer and the acceptance of whether or not, number one, that long of a service line is not acceptable. So he is going to probably have to do an extension on the main, then bring his service line down to that from his property and then connect them. So it's gonna change the letter from us to him on that, and it won't happen until we talk to ACES. Then I'll bring everybody into awareness as that's going through also. Okay?
Okay.
Facility plan for the booster water meters, all once again pending for the USDA application. Now that they have their engineer on staff, we're hoping there will be some groundwork and movement towards that also. So we're just, the lagoon is our main priority right now. So that's why that's not moving real fast. And the rural development application is all started out. Okay. Item 9 is the planning and zoning. You have the minutes of the last P&Z meeting for review. And we have one permit for 2022-39, a plat application. As you can see in the application, it was approved by P&Z for Mr. Stiles, and an additional land owned by Preston, and the situation that the two of them arrived at on putting this together for the access easement for the track 1 to Marie Street. General access, you can see, was in Highway 79 to Walter Street, Marie Street. Application based on engineer staff report, approved from there on that portion of it. The application and the Mylar will be the responsibility to be taken over, registered, and situated from there. Any further questions from the board?
No, we need a motion?
Yep.
I'll make that motion to accept that.
Kramer
Along
makes the
the-
motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Hendrickson, further discussion? The only other comment is that was asked about annexation. Mr. Stiles basically expressed that with it being in the 1 mile, he'll be in the compliance, and if anything else were to happen down the road, that he's not against annexation on that portion of it, so as development goes. Yes, sir.
Yes, I understand that, and just the way she worded it, to require annexation, and the city can't require me to annex. I can willingly do that, but the city can't require me to do that. There's procedures to do that, so.
Correct.
But I have no, as we look forward, if I do anything more on that property, then we'd look at that then. But I just didn't like the comment that the engineer had in there, because one of the things you're saying based upon the engineer's recommendations, that you guys will approve it. Well, I just wanted to make sure that that's not in there. I mean, there's a whole procedure, just like you do with all the other places, if you want to have something annexed, so. Thank you.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Motion to remove item B off the agenda.
Okay,
Kramer does that, second.
Second.
Hendrickson, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried, thank you. Item number 10 is Public Works. Committee report, street light repairs, water, sewer department updates.
Nothing on streets, street lights, they were down in both REA and
Conrad's.
Conrad's. They fixed these 2 lights, we have 2 more in stock. And they fixed the PAL lights on Ferguson and the one on Folsom and Fifth. And so I think we got them all at this point.
They get the one on Manning and Fifth too,
Manning and Fifth, yes.
by Hammers.
Yes, they looked at it, I don't know what they did, I didn't have them in by there to see. Was that an on-offer or was it out?
Oh,
Okay, and, water, we submitted the last quarterly samples, we have not gotten them yet. The back keys have been done, but there is a couple of upcoming, we got our new schedule for 2023 on the monitoring, testing. And Sunday night, we had a red light situation on the hill again, which indicates that the transducer is missing the cut-in. It has not done it again, but I think we probably will have Temp Tech down to double check. That's set up on a lap computer, and we'll probably have them back down to double check that again.
yeah.
Got a leak on Rupp Street, and it was in their private line, created quite a mess. And we have a definite problem with the locations of the new fiber optics. They came down and the guy was very unfamiliar with the map. He had it upside down to start with. Once we got that corrected, he indicated that they had bored west from that location, and that was not correct. And in the process of repairing the leak, we uncovered the fiber optic. Luckily, we did not hit it, but it was in the very vicinity that they were told it was, because I was there on the location when they bored that, and it was not located.
So was that one a new line then that you uncovered, or the old existing?
Oh, it's a new one. It's one they bored from number one lot across underneath, over to that manhole and then down the backside of that lot line there by Downey Germs. Never located it.
Hmm.
So I was just digging guns, we're looking out again.
So is it their responsibility on the leak then?
Would have been, but that's not the point.
Right.
You know, then the arguments start, well, you knew stuff was in there and you should have been looking and, you know, blah, blah, blah.
Okay,
So, I think that was it on the water. Sewer, we don't have the motor back yet from Kerboville. They haven't called that that's been repaired. Once it is, we'll put it back in. Now that's on the pond doctor. We took the samples, broke the ice and took samples and stuff for ACEs. And those were turned into the lab. I don't know if those results are back yet. She wanted some other samples done.
right.
And I guess that's it.
On the request for the pumping logs, you went over that with Monica. So what we basically have here is a letter to basically represent that once we found out that meter was so much, they of course want the annual pumped amount of water from the Inniterra. But versus what we sold, there's such a difference because of what we found in all of that and what the turbulence was. So we're going to make that expression to them on that. And
Well,
then,
and basically what that is, we get that inquiry every year, and where that's headed is that somewhere along the line, the state is gonna give us a water bill. We talked about that last year.
right,
And they wanna know how many millions of gallons that we pull from the Indian Care in a year's time. And
yeah, they're doing that reserve program with everybody anymore on that situation, so I think that's gonna be one of them items where in the morning we'll further detail this letter and then before we send it and then have that discussion, so we've got that all entailed where we're at on that portion of it, so we'll have that portion taken care of. Then we had, basically the agreements of services for public works and town maintenance, that'll be in that 24th work session, so we'll cover that then. That annual technical conference of 2023 then, you guys weren't gonna attend that one,
no, it's already done.
correct? So we can have a motion to remove that, please.
Second.
Kramer makes the motion, Henriksen seconds the motion, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item E is the PACE municipal maintenance contract. Did you read through that, on what it was? They presented that to us.
No.
I don't remember last year on that, on our lineal foot price that we had for 6 to 8 for the clean and sanitary storm.
Yeah, I did look at that.
Okay, and then they had,
I didn't sign it, but we need to look at it. And it seemed to me like, that's for next year's, jetting and Camry. They want the contract signed. That was the problem we had last year, remember, we had them down and the contract
Right.
wasn't signed and they had a little tizzy over that, so it's a preliminary thing. We agree to what their prices are, and if we don't have much choice.
so if we can, we'll look at that and compare them tomorrow too, please. And then we'll bring that back to the next meeting and then further discuss it. So the board is ready for us to finalize and sign that then. I just didn't remember on the lineal footage until we looked back at the old one, how much they raised that. And of course, their fine print in their mobilization, there is no room on that. It's travel to here and from here back. They haven't changed that a bit on any forgiveness on that part of it. And going through everything that we've got on payment plan, everything is set, and then their liabilities and responsibilities have broadened a little bit too, where they free themselves from everything, so. Which we really have no other choice. That's the thing at this point, so. So we'll review that and then bring that back to the next board meeting. Sound good?
Mhm.
Anything further, Mr. Ferguson? Next item is 11, Finance Officer.
It's monthly financials, bank reconciliation included in the packet. Also, revenues and expenses for December balance sheets. Department updates.
Before we go there, please. We had talked before on Edward Jones cash accounts.
Yes.
That's not doing enough of anything, that we were actually gonna roll that back into the general fund. And I think we should probably prepare to do that, and just
Yeah.
put it back into the general fund, because it has not increased in the last 5 years.
Well, actually, Edward Jones contacted me and they were asking to include them in the agenda in February. They want to come and talk with us about our account.
See, the hard part that changed all of this is that the state now has made it to where you cannot invest in anything that's going to help you get a better percentage of return on your money. There was too many communities that went higher risk and hurt themselves. But you can go into bonds and different other items that can bring you a better rate of return. And they've taken that ability away. So they've actually taken the ability for this to be attractive to help communities gain a little bit of interest on when their money is in there. So that would be a good thing. I definitely feel that before we do that, then that would be a good option. Then we could see if there's any new
Options for us.
laws, that have changed that will allow a community to be safe, but still a little bit better interest on their money.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Further then.
Department updates. Still working with G-Works after the transfer. There comes all kinds of hiccups, but we're working with it and trying to resolve any issues. Yeah, it's been challenging, but I think we're very close to all done, so.
Well, between the two of you, you and Jill, the progress you guys have made and the positive that Jill has gotten out of the billing on how much quicker it is, how much faster it is, the calculating is so much better. All of the backup from G-Works themselves, the people are helpful.
I didn't have much experience with Banyan, but so far I like G-Works, how it works. Everything's pretty easy to fix if any issues come up, and they're helpful with phones, the answer whenever we need them, so.
That's good.
Yeah, that's a win-win. That was a good investment.
Notary application is finally done. I'm waiting on actual certificate to
Good.
get back,
Good.
so that will be done.
Okay.
Long distance call service switched from Lingo to Mount Rushmore and actually found even better plans, so it's gonna be only at least a third of the price what we paid before.
Good job,
Excellent.
girl.
Excellent.
Edward Jones Bank and SD Fit all updated and done.
When did they want to meet then?
Edward Jones, they want February 7th is the next meeting.
Okay.
And the DA&R water report we just talked about, that will adjust the letter for the water
Right.
consumption numbers.
The South Dakota Fit, now, did they want any more information on their portion of it too, or are they good?
No, they're good.
I
We
must
don't
say,
have too much in there, but I think it's all in investments
Right.
there.
no, and I like the way you categorize all as far as your balance sheets, as far as your reconciliations, the way you've got everything going, it puts everything black and white. The only thing that I'll be curious to see with G-Works is also when we get into it as far as our spreadsheets go, where our percentages of every category are in every department then, as far as how much we've used up as we've balanced our budget, and we've got our budget line number there then. If we come down to December or November,
Doesn't matter.
that we can see that we're at 42%, or we're at 41%, or, you know, where we're at in our numbers. Banyan did have that at one point, and Bobby used to go through it. And then I don't know, something is a glitch in the software took that away. And G-Works, I think, is going to have that ability. They'll actually
Yeah.
put it in a better
You can
balance.
customize the report, so whenever you have any suggestions, what you want to see, just let me know and I'll add it.
Yep, that is one big one. That helps all board members.
Yep.
Because they can look in their, each one of their departments, categorize it out, look at where their percentage levels are, and, or the whole overall budget. So, and it's good for you too, because then your strong point is you can go through every one of them categories and say, whoa, we need to
Well,
back
I have
off
my own sheets that I look at every day.
here. So that wooden ruler will come out. Good. So are we'll leave the long distance call service change on the agenda then until you further come back with the final information? Or
No,
have you
it's
got it
all
in?
done and it's just gonna be in the next
And
place.
then your notary
Okay.
application, we can remove both of them then.
Yes.
Motion to remove C and D, please.
You bet.
Kramer does that. Do I have a second?
Second.
Go ahead, Kurt.
Second by Schumacher.
I was just a little faster.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried. Thank you, and I appreciate the job you're doing for us.
Thank
You've
you.
really done some good leaps and bounds, and we thank you for that. And Jill has nothing but compliments on how everything's working in the office, and the two of you working with Mr. Ferguson, and it's been a challenge, I know, but you're getting a good outline there too, where everything as far as the pumping records, all the DA&R, the CMOM report, all the management reports that we've got to do. I appreciate what you're doing too, Mr. Ferguson, on that, and putting it all together with the girls. It's gonna make a really nice balance all the way around. So we thank you. Okay, we'll move to item number 12. The annexation, Gumbo Lily, Fairgrounds Place, McDermott, approval to proceed. That, you girls were gonna come up and
Damn
Weren't we?
it. Excuse me.
make a few calls.
What's your day off this week?
What's your day off?
Well, I kinda have tomorrow off,
I
because I
don't.
work here. Thursday morning I have off.
I don't.
Friday, I'm probably available on
Friday morning.
Friday morning.
And see, the only reasoning is once again because of the DA&R award. We know then where we can apply if we need to for WRT
Okay.
and that portion of it. And the sewer also.
Friday morning, what time?
Whenever.
9:30.
Excellent, thank you.
Thank you.
The town sign is a pending. C is the town office, is pending. Library D is pending. Item 13, the new business. A was the fencing estimates, which is only on there because of what we had listed for the portions of that on that grant. More of what that is just for the commissioners. Once they come back on their budget numbers and let us know is really the only reason I've left it on there. We'll remove that. Item B is the hazard mitigation. We went through that at the last P&Z meeting. We made some good changes, I feel, on it that needed to be done before it was sent in. That was a very fast moving, where the hard part about that, if you remember, the grant money didn't come until late, and there was 7 weeks delayed, and then they gave them basically that amount of time to get this done and put back in for the first of the year. So that Joan and the board and the Custer and everybody just did a remarkable job putting that together. So I think they've got a really good plan. The packet is up here with it, if any of you want to review it and reread it. It was in the P&Z packet also. So, South Dakota PFAS cost recovery program. I don't think we were really going to do
It's
it.
pending. I contacted them again the other day and no answer of what to do next.
Okay, so we'll wait on that portion of it. Item D is the traffic control device grant application that was put in here. It's kind of a 50-50 deal that they came out with on that. It's up to the $15,000 on that portion, and we have to match that. Or this one's a $2,500 one.
No, that's 2,500 and that's
On that
not,
one,
no
yeah,
match.
on the
That's
traffic
a
control
grant.
device, is what it is, and for that, whether it's a crossing guard situation, I don't know on that if we would have the abilities where on the school side of it, as far as what we'd have up there, would be great to have the flashing lights.
Or that would show the speed
speed
that
limit.
people are going.
Correct.
Some idea.
So people are more aware of how fast they're going. I don't know.
I think that would be awesome.
Yep.
The only thing we need to find out on, when was this due by?
April 1st.
April 1. So I think what would be awesome is to get a kind of an idea on costs.
Yeah, I looked up. It's the ones that show you how fast you go. It goes all between 1,800 and 2,500. Depends if you want solar or regular power.
Something like that would be really a great addition up there. So if this is something we can definitely, I think, look into and look at what we got for a cost, and if we can apply, I think it'd be a great situation.
Might as well try.
Definitely, definitely. So
Do you have
let's,
time to do that? Okay.
excellent, we'll do a report next meeting then on it, see what we can put together on it. Then we can get with the school board or school up there and see if it's something that they agree on as far as an application.
I just got a quick question, I guess, Dan. There's
Yes.
already flashing lights up there. So you're wanting to put the speed deal on top
Right.
of that?
Right.
I'm just trying to understand what you're wanting to add to or take away, I guess. Okay.
Okay. Item E is the resolution 01-2023, salary and wages.
Varies the Board of Trustees for the Town of Hermosa, Custer County, South Dakota, a resolution providing for the classification and salaries of the municipal employees and officers for the Town of Hermosa for the period commencing January 1st, 2023. And varies all salaries and compensation of the Town of Hermosa officers and employees' names herein shall be as follows. Board of Trustees, $75 each regular meeting and $50 each special meeting. Finance Officer, Monica Service, $20
Bring
per
that up.
hour. Administrative Assistant Joe Dipwig, $17 per hour. Mosquito Control, $16 per hour. Water meter reading, $14 per hour. Planning and Zoning President, $40 per meeting. Planning and Zoning members, $30 per meeting. Border Equalization, $50 per meeting. Election Board, $15 per hour. Custodian, $15 per hour. Water Maintenance, $1,296 per month. Sewer Maintenance, $1,116 per month. Streets Maintenance, $136.01 per month. Law Enforcement, $80,000 per 1 year contract, and in addition to 911 dispatch, $2,000 every quarter. Now therefore, resolved that these wages and salaries are hereby approved this 17th day of January 2023.
Okay. Motion to approve.
Motion to
Second.
approve.
Kramer made it, Hendrickson seconded. Further discussion? Being none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you.
Should I have done that with my name being, I guess all of our names are on there, though, aren't they? So,
Item F, we've already taken care of. We can remove item A, item B, and item E. Item F, we'll leave on just for a report factor then. If you are gonna come back each meeting, then we'll look forward to that.
just
And
move it
your
in.
If that's the board's consensus, I'd be happy to do that.
Of course, I think it'd be a
Perfect.
great thing.
Move it into old business.
Correct.
Okay.
Move it to
Yep. And that way it'll be handled there on that situation. So A, B, R, and E will be the three removed.
Okay. I'll
Motion,
make that motion.
Kramer makes the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
By Hendrickson. Thank you. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item number 14 is items from citizens. No action, of course, will be taken. 3-minute time limit per speaker. Meetings of the Board of Trustees are open to the public. The audience may be allowed to comment on specific agenda items during the time allotted on the agenda for those items. According to the established procedures of the board, this is a time for members of the public to express concerns or discuss issues having relevance to the town. Anyone wishing to address the town board during this time shall be asked to identify themselves. The number of presentations and time allotted to individuals may be limited by the board president, and individuals shall refrain from discussing personalities. The president at his discretion may recognize patrons at other times during the board meeting. No action will be taken by the board on any issue related without being first placed on the future agenda by the board to allow for proper notice. Any citizen input? Yes, ma'am.
I have two questions. One is, can that be rephrased in the second line from the bottom to say his or her discretion? And what is your definition of personalities? Because to me, when somebody says Mr. Halsworth or whatever, that's simply addressing you by name. You tend to take that as personality.
Depends on each subject though too.
Well, if
But
somebody
we can-
addresses you that way and instead of saying, Mr. Grinch, for example, that would be a personality thing. Where addressing you by name in most societies, that is a respect issue.
Thank you. So yeah, that's a great work item too. Okay, yes ma'am.
Connie Lamer, I'd like to ask Monica if you can disclose the amount in our Edwards and Jones account for the community
The
we
what?
have invested in our account.
It's a little over $138,000.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Yes, my name is Jerry Stiles. And I just stepped on someone's foot. It's only 285 pounds. One of the things I'd like to talk about is the letter that the Elmer Claypool sent to the South Dakota DANR, and also the 5th letter that came back from DANR in reference to that letter, and also the 6th letter that we got back from them. I guess, for transparency, it'd be nice that not only the public knew about these letters that came back, but also the rest of the board members. Because I know for a fact there's some board members that never seen Elmer's letter that was sent up, they never seen the 5th letter came back, and they never seen the 6th letter. And we need transparency on what's going on, because that is a big item over there that could cost the city a lot of money. And the next thing I'd like to talk about is a couple of things that Elmer actually talked about in his letter. And he was talking about, you know, at the end he said, well, if the state finally approves that project over there, that he'll sign the floodplain permit. I submitted to Gail when she was here, and she also submitted to Elmer. One of the things that Elmer did not cover in that is that they raised the road going into Shorbs by over 2 feet. That backs water up onto the Dollar General, who just got done doing their floodplain compliance. It backs out water up on the Wiles, and it backs water up onto me. And I seen how much it backed up onto me last year compared to other times. And a couple of those really quick rains that we had, it actually put water, you can see the residual of the water line almost up to my president's head. And that was just like 2 inches of rain. So I guess what my concern is why haven't the state, or why hasn't the city did their duty and responsibility and made sure that that floodplain included everything it was supposed to include in it. And then also, when Shorbs raised their property, I checked with the county, I checked with the state, and there was no floodplain review when Shorbs raised their property over there. And both of those things are backing up on this other people. And it's the responsibility of the board to make sure that happens. And we've seen a lot of activity where dirt went into Shorbs and dirt came out of Shorbs, and then dirt went back into Shorbs again. I don't know if that was some negotiation the city was doing with them, I don't know. But that has to be addressed. And another thing that Elmer brought out in his letter, and that was about the manholes.
Getting close to your time frame here, sir.
And you just interrupted me, Dan, so I'm gonna take a little bit more. So,
Excuse me?
I said, you just interrupted me when I was talking and took some of my time. Okay?
Yes, sir.
And another thing is that he talked about some of the manholes that needed to be either watertight or raised. But I had the opportunity last fall to go out, because I was assisting, volunteered my time to pull some manhole covers for one of the city employees. And one of the things that was noticed there is that in some of the manholes, there was water standing in the bottom of the manhole, and there's water standing on the inlet side and the outlet side of about 3 to 4 inches in a 10-inch pipe. What that says is that manhole is set too low. So I know that you took Chuck out of all the inspection on it, but did someone, your engineer, go out and look at each one of them manholes to make sure that they're correct?
Thank you.
All right.
We appreciate it.
And I definitely will be following up
Thank
on
you.
the floodplain stuff.
Thank you, sir. Okay, anything further? Right, we'll move into trustee input. Henderson.
One item is I would like to see that cell phones are turned off and put in a basket and moved away from the table. I just think it's a good safety issue so that no one's accused of doing anything wrong. And I feel like there shouldn't be such a stringent 3-minute time frame when there's only one person that chose to talk. They should be able to allow to do their full statement.
Thank you. Anything further? Schumann.
I have further, but I can't say it.
Very good meeting.
Thank you. Kramer.
I'm in shock.
Oh,
It's only 7:15, and yes, good meeting and good comments. It was nice to hear from Rick and that group. It was very nice to hear from your group. And Chuck, thank you for your hard work. I know you were up there on the leak up there, and thank you for that. I did come up several times, but I missed you every time you were there, or every time I was there, you were not there, so. Thank you, and thank you to Monica and Jill.
thank you. We've got a couple FYIs. The one from the Department of Agriculture and Natural Resources is our updated permit for land application solid waste that we'll be submitting. That's the normal application on that. Then they had also another grant that came up from the Governor's Economic Development Group that is on infrastructure. And they've devoted $1 million to this one. Basically, it's a creation of anybody under 5,000 on population to come in and help do a future use plan on your infrastructure as far as replacement and helping you put a plan together for your future. And the difficult part is they will match $15,000, so it would be $15,000 from us and $15,000 to do it. The match on it, well, it's one individual group, this economic development group that does it. Their firm CIP is the ones that handle that whole program. But I think it'd be a good program to look at too, for that portion of it and seeing what involvement they would do for that kind of money. Kind of scary if they're only gonna do just a touch on the surface, then you've gotta come back in and do a major after that too. And that's the hardest part about some of these, that the distance that they'll go on that, so.
Yeah, they actually had like a Zoom meeting, which I wanted to attend, but I didn't get the chance. But I was planning to see if there's a recording so I could get a better idea of how it actually works. So.
Yeah, because they've got several meetings all over.
24th is
Yep.
another one.
Yep, 25th, 24th, and they also have the 11th, the 10th. So I don't know if we get to where our time frame works out, where a person may be able to see a little bit more on that part of it. See if it'll work into our plan. Thank you all for that. Other than that, I think we can do a motion to adjourn.
Can I ask, Vicki, you were gonna bring calendars?
I forgot.
Forgot, okay. I'll remind you again then.
Yeah.
Thank
Good
you.
plan.
Thank you, thank you.
7:18,
7:18, I'll make that motion.
Kramer makes the motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Hendrickson. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you all.
I'll do my